Good afternoon. Happy Friday. Uh, we've had a busy day today and going to have a busy day this busy weekend of this week. So it's busy.
I'm fuzzy.
What the heck? What's the matter?
I don't know. I'm fuzzy.
You're fuzzy?
I look fuzzy to me.
You do look fuzzy to
It
you.
reminds me of when Dakota said
Hold
I
on a
look
second.
ravenous.
My quit just a minute. I'm black. There I am. Then is your camera
It's right up here, and it's plain.
I don't know what it is then. You should that's a little better. Hold on a second. Let me try to set Dina's camera a little bit more better here. No, that's my camera I can do. I can't really set yours. So you're gonna have to go over to your I hear echo from your computer. Can you turn the volume down? It's not your earphones.
I tried to mute it.
No, mute your computer because see, me and you are both talking on the same earphones. I mean, the same microphone with just the earphones, but I can hear it in the background. Can y'all hear her in the background? An echo? Don't know.
Okay, I think I got rid of it.
Test. Talk.
I think I got rid of it.
You did.
Okay.
You're delayed a little bit, but you got rid of it. I don't understand why you're fuzzy though.
Now listen, don't call me fuzzy. Call me ravenous. That's what Dakota
ravenous.
I
don't know why you're ravenous.
Dakota said, "Mama, you are ravenous." And I said, "What does that mean, Dakota?" And he said,
"Sub. We do appreciate it. We'll try not to ramble too much and get off subject, but I could do it from time to time, so we'll do it. I did cover Peoples. She is in my home state of Alabama, where I grew up and was law enforcement there, and I did look into that case quite a bit. And if you have any information on that, feel free to share it with the group because we are very interested in that case still. As far as I know, it is unsolved. I know a bunch of you have looked at the community page. I posted one of our people that I don't think they're watching tonight, but she calls herself Sweet Pea. She posted she wasn't happy with the channel. So I posted it, a little comment. I do appreciate everybody coming to our defense. What?
I told Tommy, I said, don't worry about it. Our people will take care of it. We don't have to comment on these negative ones that get really ugly, talking about Tommy having dementia.
Yeah,
maybe it was me.
Oh, wait a minute here.
That's right, Lisa.
All right. No dementia. I might forget about a few things, but I don't think I've got dementia so far.
Where did you go? Where did I go?
I corrected it. Don't worry. You'll be back in just a second.
Okay, get started.
Okay, yeah, I am. I'm trying to pull this information up here. My screen has kind of gone haywire there for a second. Got a lot of stuff to cover tonight. Whole lot of stuff. Bunch of stuff that Dina brought to me. And I want to address this just a minute though. Seriously. I'm on the right internet up here. If you come to watch, no, I'm not. Let me get back on my. In the right left hand corner there that we don't have strong internet, but I'm trying to go for MoFi. I'm okay. I'm hooked back up to MoFi. It doesn't appear to be having too many bars, but we'll try it. If you come to watch about one person, I have occasionally just covered straight Suzanne Morphew. I have occasionally covered straight one person, but there's so many missing people out here in the United States and around the world that if I'm looking up something and some other name comes up I feel like we need to cover, I really feel guilty for not covering that person. And we can't cover them all, not in one night. We will cover a bunch every show. Now, when the affidavit for arrest comes out on Barry Morphew, that will be one show to do that. I might sneak somebody in there that a couple of people that are missing just so that I always do that. But for the majority, that will be one show. It'll be probably a long show too, and it may be encompass 2 or 3 days when I do it. Okay, we will cover this one here. This one Dina gave to me earlier. You can go ahead and read those, Dina, if you want to. You see it?
No, there's a little bit of a delay on my end. This is Keisha Banks Jones, missing March 3rd, 2021, Kalamazoo, Michigan. March 12th, 2006 was the date of birth. Age 15, male, black, race, color black, brown eyes, height 5'4". Keisha may still be in the local area. He may go by the nickname of Shay.
I think it's Quiche.
Quiche.
I don't think it's E silent, I
Okay,
believe.
I'm sorry, you're right, Quiche. He may go by the nickname of Shay. He may be a runaway. He's 15 years old and missing, and that's not a good thing to be.
Okay, this is another one that she did the research on. I'm gonna let her get out when her delay catches up. She can read this. This is out of Nashville, Tennessee.
Yeah, this is a beautiful young lady. Smyrna police need your help in locating Lindsay Pope, who was last seen 10:30 p.m. on June 2nd. Now, this has just been, this has been 2 days ago. Police say she's missing and in danger, so they've got some reason to know that. She's 31 years old, 5'2", weighs approximately 110 pounds. Or there's people out there can pick that up in no amount of trouble. Anyone with information, contact Detective Anderson at the Smyrna phone numbers that are listed there. Call 911 if you happen to see her. She's 21 years old.
No, she doesn't.
She doesn't.
I think this is, oh no, this is the one before that.
You've got the picture.
Yeah, this is a picture of her missing, and this is the this came out of Hayden, Alabama. 17 years old. Let's see, missing since March the 6th, 2001.
Hair color brown, eye color blue, height 5'1", weighs 125 pounds. Jasmine was last seen on March 6, 2021. She may be in the company of an adult male. They may travel to Cincinnati. Go to the next. I think you're delaying, babe.
Hold on a second here. I've got a problem. The internet's at the top left showing me.
Okay, so I can finish reading.
There it is.
Jasmine.
Go ahead. This
Okay.
one right here is patient.
Okay. Was last seen March 6, 2021. She may be in the company of adult male. They may travel to Cincinnati, Ohio. Jasmine's nose and navel are pierced. She may have dyed her hair to auburn or dark brown. So,
And Blount County Sheriff's Office actually just county south of where we used to live. It's probably an hour from here. Not quite an hour.
From Boaz. I was thinking you were talking about South Alabama. Okay.
And this one is another
Lisa
one here.
says we sound like we're underwater. I think it's the air conditioner. Let me cut the air conditioner off.
The problem with that is it's been hotter than the sun. This is the south, and in the summertime, it is hotter than the sun. I tell everybody I live on the sun because humidity today was incredible. 79% humidity, and it was not raining. Okay, this is at a law 911 emergency, read 911 alert, missing child. Sex traffickers said sex traffickers matter. I don't know what that means. My daughter, Isabella Gordy, was kidnapped in San Bernardino, California. I'm attaching a picture of the vehicle. She was with a girl from a mental institution.
Wait a minute.
I keep losing myself. Hold on, guys. I'm going to transfer to my hotspot over here and see if it's any better.
Maybe I can still talk. This is working on it.
Okay. Try it again here.
Okay, Beach Bum, can you hear us? No sound.
No sound.
So you're not on the page.
Yeah, I am. I am right now. I'm gonna have to go back to MoFi, Dana, because I don't have. Okay, I turned it on the hotspot again. Hopefully, we won't lose you, but I don't understand it because we got good weather, and the last couple of nights has been crazy how much weather we've had. So
you're not on the page, babe.
Yes, I am.
Now you are.
Okay. Maybe it'll work. I had to transfer over to the hotspot on my other iPad, so.
Okay, I'm going to finish this one because this one blew my mind. This is just so sad. Okay, so Los Angeles, attention 911 emergency alert, Missing child sex traffickers matter. My daughter Isabel Gordy was kidnapped in San Bernardino, California. I'm attaching the picture of the vehicle. She was with a girl from a mental institution that she says is named Annalisa. She took my daughter in the Jeep pictured. The police won't help me. The girl told me she sold my daughter and is from a gang and that I will never see my daughter again. She was last seen in Glendale Galleria. The people took her phone. My daughter Isabel would have never left it behind. Los Angeles friends, please share and help me find my daughter. Go to the next.
Yeah, I'm having to get down to it again. Right there.
Got it?
Yep.
Okay, I'm a little bit delayed. Yeah, TS, that's right. This is very serious. Oh my gosh.
I will never see my daughter again. She is last seen in Glendale Galleria. The people took her phone. My daughter's Isabel will never have left it behind. And she gives that, and that's a picture of her in the car. And then
there's two pictures that I blew them up.
This is a picture of her daughter here. And this is a picture of the car. And the car, I'm sure they have the tag number. I don't understand why she said the police are not doing anything. How old is her daughter?
15.
That doesn't make any sense at all. I don't think she's talking to the right people. You can get the police to do something about it. I don't understand that. That doesn't make any sense. Don't understand that.
Okay, what was the next one?
Wait a minute. I got something messed up here again. Okay.
I sent Tommy a list of some.
All right. This
people.
Is from Ohio.
Okay. I sent him a list of some people from Ohio. And after I had sent him like 6 or 8, he said, don't send any more. We won't have time to put them up tonight. Y'all, this list goes on and on and on. And this is basically this last month. Elijah Monet Walker, Holland, Ohio, 17-year-old female described as black with brown hair, brown eyes. She's 5'9", 165 pounds, has the hashtag Elijah Monet Walker on social media. Use the hashtag Elijah Monet Walker on social media to make it go viral. She's been missing since May 23rd.
Wow.
Look at that beautiful girl.
And I can't pronounce the first name here, so I'm going to let Dina do it.
Okay. Y'all, there's a slight delay for him to put something up and for me to see it. I don't know why. Lakia Armorer, Toledo, Ohio, 16-year-old female described as black with black hair, brown eyes. She is 5'11", 155 pounds. And here they're asking you to use their name with the hashtag on social media. She's been missing since the same day, May 23rd, 2021. Martin, they said they ran the tag plate, but there wasn't anything that they were going to do.
I don't know. I kind of think that may not be true. That maybe she's not talking to the right person. Okay. I'm just telling you.
Amori Tonge Mango, Cleveland, Ohio. 16-year-old female described as black, brown hair, brown eyes. She is 5'4", 145 pounds. Missing since May 22nd, 23rd, 22nd so far.
Thing is, see that other case where she has the tag number and it doesn't matter if she left on her own or not. She's 15. They could get a warrant for interfering with custody. I mean, that's a felony in almost every state in the United States. Interference with custody.
Okay, y'all, while I'm reading these, I can't read what y'all are saying. So if I go back, I'll try to catch up on any questions. Put all questions in all caps. 17-year-old male, Joseph Lamont DeLunas, Described as black with black hair, brown eyes. He's 5'8", 140 pounds. Missing, once again, May 23rd, 2021, from Ohio.
And after she does these next 2 or 3, I'm going to pick up on the Olsen toddlers out of Cal City, California, that some newer developments have kind of came in the last few days by the press, at least. Emmanuel Williams Moreland, Cleveland, Ohio, 16 years old, described as black male, brown hair, brown eyes. He's 6'11".
Whoa.
He's a basketball player. 175 pounds, using hashtag, and they want to go social media to go viral.
Missing since May 22nd.
Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce that. Kara.
Hold on one second. Graceful Lily said, my mother was assaulted. We found her with a TV on her head and her door busted in. She was underneath piles of clothes and trash. Law enforcement wouldn't even investigate. She is brain damaged now.
I can't understand that, why they won't even investigate. I don't.
Where was that, Graceful Lily?
Where is that at?
Okay, this is Kara Cornelia Griffin, Cincinnati, Ohio, 16-year-old female, described as black with black hair, brown eyes. She's 5'4", 140 pounds. Missing since May 24th, 2021.
It's about getting hot in here to me now.
Okay.
Parrish Smith Jr., Columbus, Ohio, 14 years of age.
14?
Yeah, black male, black hair, brown eyes. 6'1", 150 pounds. That's out of Louisiana. No,
he's out
of
Ohio.
I'm sorry.
14 years old. Y'all, May 23rd. Again, these are children. These are someone's sons and daughters, brothers and sisters, daughters. It's crazy.
Okay, we're going to touch on the Orson.
Is that the last one?
Yeah.
Okay.
West. The toddlers out of Colorado, Cal City, California, Baker City. These are pictures of them that have that was just published the other day, and also they are still running the Orrin and Orson, still running the billboards, and they offer $122,000 reward. And this is what came out of the press out of Channel 17, which was very enlightening. We think sitting back, hey, these police are not doing anything on this. They're not, nothing's been going on. And that's what we thought about the Morphy case. And they did like 400 something search warrants. They've seized 170 items. They've ran 44 search warrants, which that's huge right there. 16 mass search area searches, 3 searches outside of California, and 200 tips received. The only thing in tips, I thought maybe that would be a small amount of tips because of the reward being as high as it is. But 170 items seized and 44 search warrants, and the 3 searches outside of California. Those things are telling me that they got some new information. So hopefully this case is going to be it. They came back and said, hey, we just want to reiterate, and this 3 days ago, we just want to reiterate that this thing is not cold, and this is what we're doing. Because you can sit back in your chair at home, and think, well, they're not doing anything about this. I mean, I did. I didn't think they were doing too much about it. Of course, I'm not out there, but looking at this, it shows me it's an active investigation. You run 44 search warrants, you're going to have at least 5 to 10 people on that search warrant. So that's a lot of manpower and a lot of search warrants for sure. I'm going to cover a case now that we've covered before, but there's some new information on it. And FBI has released a thing saying they believe the child was snatched. So it's enough. And also we're going to cover some suggestions on what you should do if you ever have someone in your family that comes up missing.
Good
What
job.
steps that you should do to handle that missing person case. This was out of a little girl named Naomi Alvarez Perez, I think it is. They call her Dulce. I guess that's Dulce. Disappeared while playing at a nearby park with her brother, who was 3 at the time. Her mother, Naomi, I think that's Naomi. It may be Norma.
No, it's
Noma.
Yeah.
It's Hispanic. Was sitting in a car 30 yards away, and that's basically 90 feet, helping her 8-year-old sister with homework. So you got that's pretty brazen. You got the mother in the car, other people in the park. It's a wonder that both kids were not snatched, not just one. But you'll see it's a very little beautiful little girl. What?
Her name, the nickname they use for her means sweet in Spanish.
Her mother says basically it's been really hard for me and for my parents knowing that she doesn't Dulce doesn't appear. Nobody knows where she's at, where she is. Says she is a sweet girl, nice, loving. She likes to pretend that she is always a princess. She likes to be around like smaller kids. She always likes to give hugs and kisses. There isn't a day she doesn't think about her daughter. That's the mother. This is the mother. She goes on to say that the disappearance, the City Police Athletic League, PAL, launched an indoor soccer things. It's basically, it talks about I wanted to show a picture of her mother, that they wanted the police to get with them and hope to generate leads by having an indoor soccer type activity. They also had a witness come forward and give this description to police, which they've done a diagram. They're not sure if this is the suspect or he's a witness, but he was in the area when this was conducted, when the girl was snatched. Nearly 50% of the population there is Hispanic, according to the census. Shops, restaurants, grocery stores dedicated to Latino line the street. And this is a blow up of that. It looks like he has some pimples on his chin. That is a pretty good diagram.
That's a good diagram.
Really good diagram. Now, I would love to see if the girl says or the witness says, yes, that appears to be him. But if anybody knows anybody like that is possibly Hispanic, it would, they need to turn him in. At least get him cleared. This is pictures of the girl. She's a very pretty little girl. The middle picture reminds me of my daughter when she was little. She'd wear hair in pigtails. But just snatched her right out of the park. Right there with her mother.
Look she is beautiful.
Her mother being within 20 feet of her. 90 feet.
Look how beautiful she is.
30 yards. You look at that on a football field. When next time you're watching a game and you see it 30 yards, that's nothing. And her mother's that close when whatever happened to her. Yeah, she's a very pretty little girl. And here it says, missing New Jersey girl, Dulce, I guess it is, Maria Alavez, likely snatched in a crime of opportunity, FBI says. I mean, if the FBI's came out and said this is just it, it might have been just a crime of opportunity. You got a pedophile walking through the
Oh
park,
my gosh.
maybe looking at the kids, looking at something, and for an opportunity to do something, and he sees this little girl out there, comes up, maybe says, "What are you doing? Where's your mother?" "Oh, she's in the car with my sister." Looks over there, sees her looking down, and just snatches her. You know,
She looks like a very friendly little girl.
yeah.
That mom may have said don't talk to strangers, but she had that bubbling personality, it looks like. And
Yeah.
it is so sad to think that a pedophile may have gotten her.
Yeah. It says a New Jersey girl, this is what came out of the FBI article, is New Jersey girl who vanished, and this, of course, not the FBI that written it, who vanished from the park nearly a year ago, was likely snatched by a predator hunting for an opportunity to grab a child. That's just what I was talking about, according to a new report. The lead investigator is a lead investigator in the kidnapping of Dulce Alvarez shared new details about the case in an interview with the New Jersey Advanced Media as the anniversary of the girl's disappearance approaches. If you're looking for a child to take, the child,
If you're looking for a child to take, the child, you go where they are. You go where children are. I think they added
that the FBI agent said, and that's just what I was talking about. The pedophile's walking the park. He's looking for the opportunity. He's watching the crowd. He might have been they may have been there before. He may have been there before. He may have known the area, and it was just an opportune time to take it.
What's one things that pedophiles do to get kids to follow them? Can you help me find my dog?
Right. You help me find my dog. Anything like that. He could have just.
It's pronounced.
He could have took her, put his hand over her mouth, and took off running. You know.
Lisa said her name is pronounced Dulce.
Dulce. Okay.
Thank y'all for correcting our southern lingo.
Yeah. If you're looking for a child to take, okay, there's one of the reasons. That's one of the reasons we believe that the target was a child, but it may not necessarily have been. To say, the kid, I can't even talk today. The kindergartner who turned 6 in April disappeared on September the 16th, 2019, from the Bridgeton City Park, where she had been playing with her 3-year-old brother, Manuel.
I'm surprised he didn't take them both.
Yeah, but for real. I mean, really. Her mother drove there and remained in her vehicle as the kids ran ahead in the playground 30 yards away. When she caught up a few minutes later, the little girl, of course, was gone. In this case, it was broad daylight, mom being distracted a short period of time, and Dulce and her brother Dulce and her brother being far enough away. They commented, the offender felt like it was an opportunity for him to take her and leave with her, and that's what he did. The special agent said that it's also possible the kidnapper hadn't planned on to grab a child that day, but saw the opportunity and took it. Now, let me say this. That's why we say never go into a store and leave your kids in the car. I don't care if the car, first off, don't ever do that, because if you lock the door and for some reason they get up there and maybe get the car out of gear and they get it to rolling and cause an accident or get hurt, or if the air conditioner car goes off and they should suffocate from the heat or cold. And two, the biggest thing is they could get snatched. Somebody could convince them to unlock the door, maybe walk up to the car with a little puppy in their hand and, unlock the door or roll the window down, or they may break the window out and take your child. Don't ever do that. Don't leave your child alone like that. The person's intent may not have been to take a kid, he said. It could have been to be maybe to watch children because that's what he liked, and the opportunity presented itself, and they did what they did. Authorities are holding out hope that she is still alive. I'm working on the premise and the assumption that she is still alive. And this was the name of the guy's East Coast leader, the FBI Child Abduction Rapid Deployment Team. It goes on. Investigators previously described the possible suspect as Hispanic man, 30, 35 years of age, with acne based on the witness statements. We do have some witnesses that saw a Hispanic male in the park and around the playground that we have not identified. We don't know who that is. Very possible that they are the offender. Shortly after the girl's disappearance, authorities also said the suspect was seen ushering a girl into a red van. So, see, they may have caught him just as far as that, going into a red van. But said the team has received thousands of leads for similar vehicles, and none of them have panned out. The agents have spent thousands of hours scouring gigabytes of surveillance video from homes, buildings, in the immediate area around the park in search for the suspect's vehicle. The park itself doesn't have cameras. That, in the little town that we live near there on the Gulf Coast, all of those city parks had cameras, especially around the playground area. And everybody said, well, why would you put, why do you need cameras? Well, this is exactly the reason. We believe that it's a likelihood that we do have a suspect vehicle on video someplace. A motive for the kidnapper remains unclear. Agents rule out a custody dispute and stress that her family has been cooperative in the investigation. It appears unlikely that she was snatched by a family member. Think about it. The family member was going to plan this and take her. It's super high risk because it's a public park where there could possibly potentially be lots of witnesses. It goes on to say agents believe the abductor likely acted alone and for self-serving purposes. Young kids who are kidnapped may be taken by somebody looking to replace a child who is somehow lost, while sexual motivations is often a factor in cases involving teens. The agent said someone out there knows who took her, but they may not just realize it. You may see your neighbor with a young child that hasn't had a young child before, and you may think it's a cousin or whatever, but if you think he's acting strange, you might as well just call him, let him verify it's not the person.
You know what? I'm going to tell you something. If I was the mother of this little girl, I would pray it was somebody that just wanted a child of their own to love.
It's not that. I'm going to tell you, if it's a male. It says here the same thing that I was just saying. He asked the public to think about people that who changed their behavior or habits around the time this girl was disappeared. The subject may be a regular visitor to parks and behave awkwardly around children. He would have missed work or family get-togethers at the time, or may have left town without warning. He may have made a significant change in his appearance or changed his color of his car. I honestly think there are people out there who know who the offender is, interact with the offender, and might even describe him as socially awkward or odd. Folks, may be afraid to say anything because they think, oh, this person would never take a child. And that's what I'm saying. The guy, and I think about the guy, the BTK killer. I've watched several films and documentaries on this guy, and he was even in law enforcement for a while. He worked part time like a park police for a while, and everybody said, "Oh, and he was big time in the church." Everybody said, "Oh, he's such a great guy. He would never do anything like this." There absolutely are. You've seen that, the school shooters and all that, and all the neighbors come out. Well, he was such a nice, quiet person. I would have never thought he'd do that. You just don't know. You really don't know what your neighbors are capable of. Um, Applaud everyone who has seen something unusual the day of her disappearance to come forward. The abductor would have likely have been in the park between 4 and 4:30. The park adjacent to two schools, meaning a student may have information without realizing it. Just think though, he's between two schools. He may have been prowling the whole area. We really believe that there are people out there that saw something that would be critical to us. The search remains active locally, nationally, and internationally, he said. Anyone that has information is asked to call the New Jersey State Police, Bridgeton Police, or the FBI. And I would, if I was anybody, I would call the FBI because they get probably the most bang for your buck, as they say about investigating all this stuff. You may call the local place and they just, for whatever reason, be too busy or blow it off. I'm not saying that that's the case, but I've seen a lot of that stuff.
Well, with some of these stories, our subs are telling us.
Yeah, I don't understand how this girl up there is kidnapped by somebody and the police won't do anything about it. $52,000 reward. That should generate some information.
Yeah, it should.
And that, hopefully they will. And I understand this, but when they during the Iraqi war, they put bounties on some of these people that were killing American troops and stuff. $25 million bounty on them. $30 million bounty on these people. Let's put some big bounties on these type of things. Become $1 million bounty on this guy. I guarantee you put $1 million reward on this thing, somebody's going to generate some information. I think it would. The more money's out there, it seems to do it. This is the actual poster on her for it. Basically tells her 5 years old would be the age now. Approximately 3 feet, 70 to 60, 70 pounds. And this tells a little bit of what the suspect looks like. He is light-skinned male, possibly Hispanic. They're not saying he's 100% Hispanic, possibly, and that's based a lot on the demographics of the area and the census. You hardly ever see a white or a black male in the middle of total 100% Hispanic neighborhoods walking around. That would be very noticeable if you saw somebody that's white or black or Asian walk through a neighborhood, a city park. It'd be even more so. 5'6" to 5'8", thin built, no facial hair, and he has acne on his chin there in that picture. Orange sneakers, red pants, and black shirt. That ought to be real noticeable. Red pants and black shirt.
Orange sneakers.
Yeah, and red van with sliding door, tinted windows. And if you were in the park running around that day, I suggest that you think about who you saw. And even if it's somebody that you swear would never do that, go ahead and let the police rule them out.
Yeah, that's right.
Go ahead and let him rule them out.
Y'all, yesterday, Tommy and I were headed to Athens, Alabama. We were going to get on the interstate, and as we did, there was a young girl standing by the sign on the on-ramp, and she had a sign that said south that she had stuck up on the sign, but she was leaned down looking through her book bag or whatever. And I told Tommy, I said, "Did you see that girl?" And he was looking down and didn't see her. He looked in the rearview mirror and he said, or in the side mirror, and he said, "No." I said, "Tommy, she couldn't have been 16 years old." So we called the police because I couldn't turn around and go back. We called the police and I just asked them, "Please go check on her. She looks too young to be an adult hitchhiking, and she shouldn't be hitchhiking as a female." That was crazy.
Yeah, and so they said they would check it out.
Yeah.
Okay. This is another case here, and then we'll get into these suggestions. This came out of a national network for missing and exploited children. This is one that has haunted me for a while. I've looked at this case before, and we talked about this case before, but this is just crazy. 2 people missing, not one. Both of them are missing. The FBI asked for the public's help in continuing the investigation of a couple who disappeared, leaving South Street Bar 16 years ago.
Wow.
There's nothing on them has ever been turned up. The investigation in coordination with the Philadelphia Police Department, New Jersey State Police, Mount Laurel Police Department, and Burlington County Prosecutor's Office seeking information regarding Danielle Otterbury Imbo of Mount Laurel and Richard Petron Jr. of Philadelphia, who were last seen the evening hours of February the 19th, 2005, leaving the former Alavez Bar and Restaurant on South Street. According to the reports, the couple left the bar and were heading towards Petron's 2001 Dodge Dakota pickup. The FBI has extensive investigation to date, has generated some promising leads. However, neither they nor the vehicle have been located. So that tells me that vehicle is probably underwater. They have to be, or somewhere that it can't be found. The case remains open and active, with additional personnel currently assisting the case team in reviewing intelligence, interviewing individuals who may have been able to advance the case. $50,000 reward for information on the couple's whereabouts. I mean, you think about that. Both of them are missing. Not just one, both of them. So that is just very, very strange case, I think. I would have to check around water, everywhere around water. All right, let's talk about, just say you have a person in your family, God forbid, come up missing. This is some of the things they say. If your child, now they're addressing child, but I would say this probably would go a long ways, okay, for anyone that lives in your household. If your child comes up missing, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children says you should follow these steps. Immediately call your local law enforcement agency. Now, I'm going to say this. Sometimes you don't do that because you think, oh, well, they'll just come home. Or if I do that, they'll be mad at me. If they are missing and they're doing something that's completely out of character, not making phone calls and not coming in, where you think, I'm not talking about your child, but say your brother or sister, and say they always called you on the way home from work. They always called you, or you were supposed to have dinner Friday night. They didn't show up for dinner on Friday night. They didn't make the phone calls. Go ahead and call the police. I'd rather embarrass them a little bit than have them missing and not the police not be able to jump on it.
Hey, what do we tell our kids when we call and they don't answer, and we text and they don't answer after like 2 or 3 hours?
Next phone calls to the police.
That's right. You either get in touch with us, and they're 39 and 30 now, but if they don't get in touch with us, because they always call us back or text us back, and if they don't, then
next calls to the police. They always call. After you reported the child missing, a person missing to law enforcement, call. Now this is for children. Call the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, 1-800-THE-LOST. and they have tons and tons of resources. Say, so if your child, say you were, let's just say, situation that you have a child that y'all went hiking, and you got separated, and y'all have searched all the way to dark. Of course, there's a lot of means in here. I would do is contact the Park Service, contact the county sheriff in that area, but go ahead and contact them, or say they're say you went to the mall with your kids and they got separated and you cannot find them, and here it is dark, the place is closing. Yeah, do all these things. What did you say?
Beach Bum said, what about the 48-hour rule some law enforcement preach?
I'm gonna tell you, that's garbage. And if a police officer is telling you the 48-hour rule, he's watched too much TV. We always took missing kids especially serious. It didn't matter if they were gone. If the mother and father came in and they said, look, my kid never does this. This is totally out of character for them. No, we'll search it. And just like a kid lost on the beach, there'll be 30 officers looking the beach over trying to find them. No, I don't believe that. And I don't think it's 48 hour, 24 hour before you call the police, all that stuff. No, you call them the minute you're concerned.
Juke says, look in the fridge and freezers too, and washers and dryers. Juke, when I was a kid in Huntsville, Alabama, a little boy came up missing, our next door neighbor, and they searched and searched and searched the neighborhood for him, could not find him anywhere. And the parents, someone went out on the back porch of his house, and there was a chest type freezer there, and that's where they found him dead. And his sister, who was a couple of years older than him, now he was like 3, she kept saying the green people put him in there. The green people. They don't know. She didn't know her colors and stuff like that. They didn't know what was happening.
Always, if you got something like that, normally nowadays they come with a lock on them. Lock them up. It's a hassle to have to unlock it, but lock them up. Never put an old one out at the road without taping the door shut or taking the door off of it.
How many times have we stopped and taped?
Yeah, I have actually. Me and Dina have stopped on the side of the road when we see refrigerators out there with the doors standing open on them or whatever. We've got out there and used our own money and bought tape, duct tape or whatever, and taped that door shut.
Yep.
Our own money, because it didn't matter to us. That's a big safety. And if somebody would have walked out of the house and said, hey, what are you doing? I'd said, I'm preventing some kid from dying.
That's right.
Also, he says, search through the clothes, piles of laundry, and under the bed, in and under the beds, inside large appliances, vehicles, including the trunks, and anything else where a child may crawl and hide, especially if you got young children. I don't know what it is, but we have seen kids when they'll hide from you, and you can holler and scream and yell for them and search the whole house and tell them you're calling the police and everything else, and they won't make a word. They won't make a sound. You remember my cousin?
Mia did that.
Yeah, and our cousin did that.
Yeah.
Our cousin, they were hollering. We were on the 10th floor of a high-rise. We were on the 10th floor of a high-rise down on the Gulf Coast, and they couldn't find him anywhere. And I didn't want to look, but I did. I walked out to the side and looked over the side of the railing just to make sure he didn't fall somehow. But they found him hiding, just refused to answer.
Behind the couch.
Yeah.
Mia got a spanking when they finally found her because she was hid really good. She thought it was funny, and they were calling her and scared to death. And, yeah.
Says notify store manager, security office if the child cannot be found when you're in a store. Immediately call local law enforcement agency, and many stores have a code Adam plan in action in place, and that's after the Adam Walsh child. But you're right. If you tell your child, I'm going to be right over here, and for whatever reason, stay with me stay with me. I'm looking at these clothes. And you turn around and she or he's gone, and you search that store over and you can't find them anywhere, don't wait.
No,
Don't wait, because they can easily, somebody can abduct them, take them right out that door. And this happened. We've talked about this before. Medina was in a store looking at clothes. Mindy was with her, little girl. I think she was how old?
She was about 3.
And she says, "Stay with me, Mindy." And Mindy walked over there where the mirrors are.
No, she didn't. She was hiding inside where I was looking at clothes, and I could see her. And she said, "Mommy," and I said, "I'm right here." And I guess my voice carried, and she took off running as fast as she could out of those clothes and down the aisle. And this lady at the end of the aisle happened to pick her up. And she was holding her out like this because Mindy's kicking and screaming, "Don't steal me! Don't steal me! Don't steal me!"
Yeah, but what the time me and you actually were there, she walked over to the mirrors where the 3 mirrors were. I could see her the whole time. And we said, "Mindy, come over here." And she froze sort of, but then she started walking over to us, and the sales lady got her and kind of put her behind her back and says, "Is this your mommy?" Because she's Korean now, and we're American.
She's always been Korean.
I know, but but the store clerk thought we were trying to steal her. It was weird. It was in JCPenney, but they asked her, "Is this your mom and daddy?" And she said, "Well, yes." But the store clerk even tried to verify it again because she couldn't see. She didn't understand. Well, you know what I mean. They say provide law enforcement with your child's name, date of birth, how tall they are, their weight, the description of unique identifiers such as glasses, braces, and tell them when you notice your child was missing and the clothes that he or she was wearing. And here's the thing: sometimes if your child is missing, the adult, the parent will panic. They will absolutely panic. They will not know what to say. They won't remember that you need to tell the police what her full name is, how tall they are, their weight, and their date of birth, and what they were wearing when they disappeared, and eyeglasses and braces and any type of thing like that. Go ahead.
Okay, what I want to ask you is, as a parent of children, and remembering back when ours were little, if one of our children had come up where we couldn't find them, and how long would you have waited before you? Because I'm thinking, I'm looking in the house and I'm looking around the yard and I'm calling the police.
Well, if it's around the yard and everything, I don't know. I really don't know because we lived on the water at that time. The first fear of me is the water,
Yeah.
But if we were in a store and they disappeared, me after checking the store as much as I could, I would definitely. But see, me being law enforcement, I might have just picked up the phone, picked up my radio, and said, "Hey, we got this happening."
Cheat No More said, "When I was 4 years old, a predator was trying to lure me by trying to get me to take a piece of candy in the airport." She still remembers that. Those are scary times.
Said request law enforcement authorities to immediately enter their name and identifying information in the Federal National Crime Information Computer. Now I'm going to tell you something. Okay.
Well, I'm sorry. We were talking about kids hiding and not coming. Jude said, "I just yell candy and the kids come running."
Well, here's the problem with this statement. Request. That's the only thing you can do. They say they have additional sources through the National Center of Missing and Exploited Children. But now, if you are having your child's missing, you're going to be upset anyway. But always request that they enter them in the National Crime Computer. It's called the NCIC. It's a National Crime Computer. But sometimes the officer will say, and I would be forceful, but not disrespectful when you do this, because he can hold it up as long as he wants to. What they will do is they'll say, wait I can't do that right now. I'll have to take this report and then it'll have to go through my supervisor before he can enter it in. And then that could be, I'm telling you, it could be 3 days before it gets up their chain of command to an investigator. The investigator have to do that. Say, no, sir, I've talked to other people. I've been told this is what the the National Organization for Missing and Exploited Children says, to request this right away, because if somebody takes him in a car and he gets stopped up here 10, 15, 20 miles away for speeding and they check this person, then, my child can be saved. And what you got to do is, if they just say, I'm not going to do it, and then you ask for their supervisor and let him come and tell them why you can't do this, because they can do it. I have sat there on the side of the road and told somebody, like in a missing person case or whatever, dispatch, go ahead and enter this person into NCIC, because we have the information, or we have a strong belief that they may find him within the next whatever. Now, dispatch may say, call the supervisor and say, hey, can I do that? But if normally they'll say, if the officer wants it done, do it. And that, they can do it. It's just like me coming up, and I've seen this more cases than not, back when I was in patrol, and you ride up on a really bad accident where life flight's going to have to come. And you say, dispatch, advised, because police could not call life flight. They had to come through rescue. It had to come through the fire department. I would just say, dispatch, we're going to need life flight. And what they would do, they would call the fire department that's already on their way anyway and say, law enforcement's requesting life flight. And I've seen this done. The fire department said, well, if they think they need it, call them. Because when it comes back, they don't crank up a helicopter and fly. By helicopter, Dina's smiling and must laughing.
No. I'm reading comments.
From where our department was to a trauma center was one way, 55 miles. The other way was about 30 miles through traffic, heavy traffic. By helicopter, one way was 35 minutes. The other way was 15 minutes by helicopter to a trauma center. So that is huge. You got somebody with severe injuries, a gunshot wound or something like that. You need to get him to the hospital within 15 to 20, 25 minutes of max. So you're going to call a helicopter to fly him there. So, I'm just saying, you can call for, I would ask the police out there to do everything possible if you truly believe, especially, that he's been kidnapped.
Okay, Maddie says, LE can't do much of anything right now, can they, Mr. T? With the political stuff, no.
Well, they can do the little stuff like this, and I call it little stuff, kind of like saying this is routine stuff. Every police department I've ever worked at, well, in the latter days, we had computers in our cars. They would allow us to check. I get your license. I don't have to call dispatch. I run you right there in my car, and I can find out everything, criminal history, anything I want on you. Now, if I want to check you nationally, I always call dispatch. And I was even a part of a U.S. I was a designated U.S. Customs officer through a special unit called the Blue Lightning Task Force that works the Gulf Coast from all of Mississippi, Louisiana, Texas, all the way down to the Keys and back up the other side. And so I could call what they call the center. It's in El Paso, Texas. They call it block. And when I called them, I talked to this guy so much that worked at block. He knew me by name. He knew my voice, but I had a special code, a special number. So I'd call him, and he would say, block, watch commander. And I would say, this is number so-and-so. And he'd say, oh, hey, Tommy, what you need? And I say, I need a complete rundown on this person, you know, full boat. I want to know when he entered the country last. Was he in an aircraft? Was he in a boat? What was the boat? You know, everything. And they could give that information to me in probably about 3 or 4 minutes. That's how good they were. They're a federal thing, and that was when I was in investigation. So it, you know, it worked out great. I mean, I gained a lot of knowledge, and I on people. I could find out a lot of stuff. I could find out when the last time they boarded and flew in an aircraft, even in the United States, because this ran all through customs. And a lot of times it was information that led to me being able to get a search warrant, or either led to me being able to stop and go further on the stop than I would have, you know, otherwise. Any more questions? Anything that you want to talk about?
I think T.S. said, I read they are rioting in Minneapolis again because law enforcement shot rapper Boogie Smith, who was shooting at them.
Listen, if you don't want to get shot by police, don't shoot at the police. Now, I'm not saying that you won't get shot anyway in certain situations, but sometimes, you know, if you see or you go in for a gun, listen, if I had stopped a car and I tell somebody, your hands up where I can see them, get your hands where I see them, and they make a motion inside their car, they're getting shot, because you cannot wait till you see the gun. If you wait till they see the gun, it's too late. That's all that matters. And they have what they call a 20-second rule. Is if a guy's standing with a knife in his hand 20 feet away from you, and you have a holstered weapon, if he can run that 20 seconds to you, just 20 feet, it's 20 feet rather than 20 seconds, he can stab you before you will get your gun out. He will stab you every single time. We've done it training where we had a plastic gun, shoots plastic bullets and all this, and never can get it out in time. Even though you know he's coming at you. I knew he was coming at me, and I still couldn't do it. Don't, you know, it's like, and I hate to make this kind of blasé about the whole situation. I don't want to see anybody killed, good or bad or ugly. I don't want to see nobody killed. I've seen enough death in my life, okay? But if you don't want to get shot by the police, the main thing is don't shoot at the police. If you don't want to get arrested by the police and get police harassed, don't go out and start committing any crimes. You know, I mean, I'm serious.
You know, Cheat No More is talking about very disturbed by how many people are pro-criminal. You know, one of the things that bothers me, and there was a movie recently, I think it was the girl's name was Ann Suther or something like that. I saw it recently. It was about a young girl that was coming out of Target one day, and it was in the middle of daylight, broad daylight, people everywhere, and she was coming out and she's opening up a CD that she had just bought in there. And this guy comes up and grabs her, and she's screaming, and people are taking a video.
Yeah.
Not coming to help her. He throws her in the truck, goes around, gets in. She gets out of the truck and takes off running. He grabs her again, punches her in the face, throws her in the car, the truck, and leaves. Nobody's calling the police. They're filming it.
Yeah, that's what gets me is I've seen a lot of these people with filming the police fighting somebody on the ground. They're just standing there filming it. I'm sorry. I guess it's just me being a retired cop got a police officer down there fighting somebody on the gun. I'm going to get down there with him. I'm going to try to help him. Get the guy handcuffed, because that's the safest thing and the best way to make sure nobody gets hurt is to get the guy handcuffed. Get his hands behind his back. Cuff him. And you know what? And I don't like talking about this because it's a very weird type situation. The Minneapolis thing with the guy on his neck. He was definitely wrong putting his guy on his neck that whole time. There was nothing, in my opinion, of getting his knee on his neck or his back till they get him cuffed, because that is a way to control him, and then let him up, set him up. But, you know, the guy, in my opinion, here's my problem with that whole situation. He was taking meth. He had meth in his mouth at the time when he died.
He
He was on methamphetamine. He was on meth. He was on heroin at the time. You know, even though he didn't deserve to die, but let's don't make him a saint, okay? I mean, really, he did not deserve to die, but I don't believe he should have been honored by the president. I really have a serious problem with that. That's just my opinion. I might lose some subscribe, but that's just my opinion.
But you know what? They didn't say, the president didn't say when he honored him about him breaking into that woman's house with 5 other men and holding a gun to her stomach. Pregnant. She was pregnant, 7 months pregnant, and he threatened
black.
And yes, she was African American, and he threatened to shoot her. Y'all, I'm sorry. We're lifting up the wrong people.
Here's the thing. If a police officer does something criminally wrong, he should pay a price. Okay, there's no doubt. Okay, he should pay a price. And having his foot on his neck, knee on his neck, for that, he's going to pay a price. He's going to pay a heavy price. And but I'm just simply saying I'm not going to make him out to be a saint. I'm not going to do it. He didn't deserve to die, but he's not a saint.
Okay, I'm going to head over to Dad's. It's after 8. It's 8:12, and he eats about this time, so I want to make sure that his food is warmed up. Although he doesn't need me to warm his food, and he tells me all the time.
Yeah.
But I just want to head over there and see if I can't take care of my dad a little bit. Anyway, love y'all. We'll see you Tuesday. Tommy will finish this out. Thanks for coming tonight. Bye.
Yeah, absolutely. What did Beach Bum? What were you saying there? I kind of missed out. I missed what you were saying.
You were talking about that. She said no words are necessary, and then she's got the face and everything there.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to offend anybody. Okay. I really don't, and that's not what I'm trying to do.
Okay, wait a minute. Duval says, I'm not sure if you saw my message from earlier, but BM's arrest affidavit is frozen.
It's frozen? What do you mean frozen? They're not going to let it out? Is that what you're saying?
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, Jukes, you're exactly right. There's people that are going to be bad. There's people of all. It's in the heart of the man.
Yep, you're right. And this man's heart is good. I'll see you at Dad's.
Okay. Freeze. Yep. Excuse freeze. Bury more papers. Is shot girls. I think they're going to have issues with that, freezing that thing. There's going to be some appeals, and you can appeal it. Even the DAs can ask the judge to reconsider, or they may even take it up to a different court level to see. I'll check it out, though. I'll find out. I looked at it later this afternoon, and I didn't see anything in the court records. So they must have done something as late this afternoon. We'll see. Well, unfortunately, Beach Bum, the press is probably the last thing the court is considering in this. They really don't care. The judge and everything doesn't. That's the last thing. But they do care about the victim's rights. But they should feel about the prosecutor's rights too. So I don't know. I've never heard anything like this. This is the craziest thing I've ever heard of. Freezing and all this stuff like that. Okay, listen, y'all have a great weekend. We will talk more about that. I'm hoping next week I can maybe. Okay, I will, Julie. I will. Yeah. If you give me that guy's name, I'll be glad to contact him. Maybe I can get him on, and he'll be able to give us some information on that. I hope to have maybe another. I'm gonna try to contact another YouTuber that one of the subscribers had mentioned, and try to see maybe if she wants to come on and get together and get some maybe get some opinions of what her audience and our audience feels like is you know, what we need to look into in this. And I'm gonna tell you, yeah, Juicy, I bet you too. That's probably something she's having to live with. But y'all have a great weekend, and God bless all of you. And we love you. We sincerely do. I'm going to play a little video of Maggie right here. We were at a rest area waiting on traffic. They'd had a real bad wreck down there in the traffic. And Dina, I got up out of the driver's seat just for a minute, and you'll just have to watch this. It's funny. Love you guys. We'll see you on Tuesday, or if something breaks, we'll see you then. God bless y'all.
Maggie, do you think you're going to drive? No, you're not. Maggie, you can't drive. Maggie, you can't drive. You need to get down. Come on. Thank you. Woo, that was a big bus going by.